Good day to you and welcome to day 2 of 3 at the Boris Hanžeković Memorial Meeting, coming to you from Zagreb, the capital of Croatia. This is a World Athletics Continental Tour gold level meeting, in fact the 12th of the 12 gold gatherings this year. Although taking in all levels of World Athletics track and field meetings, there are over 150 globally now, and that number will climb through next year. But the Gold Series got underway back in April the 9th at the National Sports Centre in Devonshire, Bermuda, and via venues such as Walnut, California, Nairobi, Kenya, Tokyo, Japan, many venues in Europe and New York as well. We're here in Zagreb, in fact a couple of kilometres from the city centre. The main meeting is tomorrow, of course, to the south of the city at the Mladost Sports Park. But myself, Tim Hutchings, with you now for the coverage of the men's shot put competition, which has become the pre-main day staple in Zagreb. 21 degrees centigrade, very good conditions actually, not a lot of wind about. Bit of cloud, but there was storm clouds being threatened an hour or two ago. It's looking rather glorious now. And I can tell you that the caliber of this field is quite fantastic. The top 4 in the world this year are here. The longest 2 throwers in history are here. And 3 of the top 6 all-time are gathered here this evening. US, of course, had 4 athletes at the World Championships. They took a clean sweep, and the 2 main protagonists here this evening expected to be the world record holder and Olympic champion Ryan Krause, who lifted gold this summer, and his great compatriot and rival Joe Kovacs, who's beaten him in their last 2 meetings. That is Nick Ponzio, former American, competes for Italy, 4th in the European Championships in Munich a month ago. They're all big fellas. They're huge fellas. Ivančić of Serbia, this European Championship silver medalist, goes in this competition. He'll be 4th in the throwing order. Marcus Thomsen of Norway, 10th at the World Championships, will open proceedings in the throwing order. 9 athletes here, by the way. And there is Josh Awatunde of the USA, the bronze medalist at the World Championships, the 27-year-old in fabulous form this year, 22-29 he threw for that bronze medal at Hayward Field for those World Championships behind his compatriots Krause and Kovacs. Tommy Walsh, well, he's the big threat. The New Zealander can get in amongst the Americans. He was world champion back in 2017. He finished just outside the medals, frustratingly, in 4th place in Eugene. He's thrown 22.31 this year, but he has thrown quite a lot further, 22.90. And here is the man of the moment, Joe Kovacs, in the form of his life, the 33-year-old, making a bit of a comeback after almost dropping away from the sport a couple of years ago. He's in fabulous form. Indeed, he threw 23.23 in Zurich just 4 days ago, the second longest throw in history. Filip Mihajlović of Croatia, of course, getting a huge roar from the crowd. He is the reigning European champion, taking gold in Munich some 3 or 4 weeks ago. Bronze medalist at the World Indoors back in 2016. He's got real pedigree, the 28-year-old. He was 6th at the World Championships. But this is the man who in normal form is nigh on unbeatable. He has had quite a bad bout of COVID since the World Championships, some 6 weeks ago. So he's been a little bit below par, but he is the world champion from Eugene, where he threw 22.94. But he lost in Lausanne and he lost in Zurich to Joe Kovacs, and they clash again tonight. I can tell you, though, that they have met 42 times, Krause and Kovacs, and Krause leads 34-8. However, Kovacs has won their last 2 clashes, as I said. Well, 9 athletes. They will have 6 throws each, with just 1 athlete to be eliminated after the first 3 rounds. The 9th placed athlete, once they've all had 3 throws, will take no further part. Thomsen of Norway, he's the youngster here really at 24. He's by some years the youngest, European under-20 champion back in 2017. And then 9th in those European Championships in Munich. Just missed the cut. Remember, major championship finals have 12 athletes in the final, and after 3 throws for every man, the top 8 go on to have 3 more efforts. So he just missed the cut. Good crowd here, as ever. The agents and coaches and other VIPs, plenty of locals who come out and enjoy this every year, ready for this to get underway. And it will be Marcus Thomsen of Norway who gets proceedings off to a roll. That's not bad at all from Thompson. Looks just beyond 20 metres. He was 6th in Padua just last week with 20.34. Not a guaranteed 20-metre thrower, was 5th in Rovereto, another Italian meeting just a few days earlier in 19 metres 92. But what does he open with here? 20.08 for Thompson. Well, it's solid. Not as far as he'd like, but something to build on. Quite a compact thrower compared with the man mountain that is Krauser. The world record holder Krauser, twice Olympic champion and world champion now from Eugene. Roger Steen, the first of the Americans here, winner of the NACAC title, the North America, Central American and Caribbean title, back on the 19th of August. Thrown 21.47 this year. Something beyond 24-21 here would be very, very handy for his opener, and that's not bad. That's not bad at all. That looks close to 21 metres. Those two white arcs across the sector are set at 20 and 22 metres. We won in Padua last week with 21.38, did Steen. And 20.71. Well, that's, again, solid for the American. He was 5th in the US Championships. But, well, frankly, these days he can be 5th in the US Championships, but in the top 10 in the world. Here's the former American, Nick Ponzio. 4th in those European Championships, Ponzio. And that again, down around 21 metres. Didn't make the final at the World Championships. Quite a character is Ponzio, always wears those colourful outfits. Turns up and shows real pizzazz. 20.66, second place for him as this first round unfolds. Krauser won here last year. Has good memories of this. He'll be prowling and trying to produce his best here and get back on top of Kovacs. This is Armin Ivančić of Serbia, European Championship silver medalist in Munich. Since then, 4th in Lausanne and 7th in Brussels, but he's almost a 22-metre thrower. Oh, they're peppering that 21-metre zone. They're almost coming down in a perfect pattern, one on top of the other, these first-round throws. Boy. Well, I think I said Ponzio didn't make the World Championship final. I owe him an apology. He finished in 9th place. So Ivančić, 20.83, takes the lead. I think he'll take something a long, long way beyond 21 metres to win here tonight. Josh Awatunde, the World Championship bronze medalist. 22.29 he threw to lift that bronze at the World Championships, and it is his lifetime best. That one right over to the left of the sector, but again, coming down there around the 21-metre area, right in the mid-zone between the two white lines at 20 and 22 metres. Awatunde enjoying himself out there. He's of Nigerian ancestry. Studied at the University of Southern California. 8th in Brussels last week with 20.69, and then 3rd in Padua just a few days ago with 20.98, 20.78. Well, can you believe we've got 20.83, 20.78, 20.71 and 20.66, the 4 best throws so far, covered by no more than 17 centimetres. Here we go, Nick Walsh, Tom Walsh rather, Tommy Walsh of New Zealand, former world champion. Very, very fast. And that from Tommy Walsh, probably takes the lead, looks just beyond 21 metres, he likes it. The crowd appreciating it too. Meeting record, incidentally, mark your cards, 22.84 by Ryan Krause last year. In fact, just 3 days short of a year ago. Tommy Walsh's opener, 20.99. So we're still looking for the first 21-meter throw, but Tommy Walsh clearly hitting the straps pretty early. Now, could this be special? Joe Kovacs, the World Championship silver medalist. Twice world champion, though, in 2015 and 2019. What can Kovacs do here? Oh, down on the 22-meter line. Well, that is a solid opener from Kovacs. It's funny, isn't it? We've all had to adjust our parameters, adjust our understanding of what is good, what is great, and what is incredible in the men's shot over this last couple of years, because so many of these throwers now are pumping this steel ball out beyond 22 meters. And everything's moved forward a meter or so. 21.97 for Joe Kovacs. He looks pretty happy with it. We know there's more to come. Whisper it amongst yourselves, but I have heard that Kovacs has been throwing over 24 meters in training, and the world record, 23.37. Here is Mihailovic. Well, that's about 20 meters, a modest opener by his standards. He's a 21.94 thrower. He would love here tonight to go beyond 22 meters, to join the 22-meter club. Is that going to be possible? Well, I can tell you that 31 men in history have gone beyond 22 meters. The two best of all time are here. 1997 for Mihailovic. Yeah, he'll be a little frustrated at that. That might be just the job. Ryan Krause then, still recovering from COVID, defeated by Kovacs in his last two meetings with the big man, and that is a big throw. That looks almost identical to Kovacs' opener. 21.97 by Kovacs. What can the world record holder, the world champion, the Olympic champion open with here? Waiting for Krause's mark to come up. Every single one of the 9 has recorded a mark. At this stage of the season, their technique is very, very nicely polished. You don't get too many technical blemishes at this stage of the season. Well, the mark still hasn't come up on our computer system. I'm wondering whether Krause has indeed taken the lead. Remember, Kovacs 21.97. He has the lead. And in fact, Krause at 21.95. Just a couple of centimeters shy. That's less than an inch. I'm sure you all know this anyway, but there's about 2.5 centimeters to the inch, give or take a hair's breadth. That from Thompson, who opened with 20.08. Looks like a slight improvement. Just grabbed a few centimeters. He's, at the moment, Thompson, lying in 8th place. To move to 7th, he'll need to catch Nick Ponzio's 20.66. He hasn't done that, but 20.31 is going in the right direction. Stays in 8th, of course. Now Roger Steen, 20.71 he opened with. He's lying in 6th. To move to 5th and catch Tunde, he needs 20.78. And that may be better. He may well have grabbed a little extra distance there. 20.78 is Tunde in 5th. 4th is Ivančić with 20.83. There's that real little cluster of them around the 21, just below the 21-meter mark. 20.73. Well, he's added 2 centimeters. Slow progress, but progress nonetheless. Steen stays in 6th place. Now Nick Ponzio, he's lying in 7th with 20.66. Ponzio through his lifetime best in Leiria in Portugal back in March, middle of March, 21.83. And that's not bad from Ponzio. Opened with 20.66, remember. I'm not sure it's an improvement. Every one of these throwers using the rotational technique. The last really world-class, monstrously powerful and competitive thrower who lifted a couple of world titles with David Stoll of Germany, who is not here today and not really throwing up to his old standards through this season. Stoll is a straight line thrower across the circle. All these fellas using the rotational technique. Very hard to control, but once you've mastered it, it gives you so much more momentum, gives you far more speed behind that steel ball. Ivančić then. Well, he opened with 20.83. I'm not sure that's an improvement. Red flag anyway. Ponzio, by the way, his second round effort 20.29 after a 20.66. Ah, there you see, falls forward, out of the circle. Awatunde to go next. He's a 22.29 thrower. If he could get anywhere near that, he would take the lead here. World Championship bronze medalist. Very, very low stance. No, he didn't like it. There was that roar from him carried an element of disapproval, didn't it? Disappointment, you could hear it. 20.78 he opened with. I don't think that's any better. The lead still, remember, with Joe Kovacs, 21.97, the opener from Kovacs. Well, he warmed to the task and pumped that steel ball out quite a bit further. Again, this has taken a while to come through for Awatunde. Kovacs leads with 21.97 to Krauser's 21.95. That promises a great deal. We're expecting a big clash between these two, and it's started well. Hardly anything between them. Yeah, slight, maybe a bit of rain in the works of the measuring equipment. Waiting patiently. Awatunde has no choice. Well, the crowd loving this. It's the perfect little arena between two major roads leading into the city centre. There it is, the fountains to the left. The traffic easing past, probably wondering what's going on. And the crowd's still gathering by the looks of things, growing in size. Last year, there were about 1,000 people watching from the two banks that are opposite each other. It is just about perfect. Awatunde 20.50, so no improvement for the American. He stays in 5th place. Now we get in amongst the fellas who we expect to be able to shock with a big throw. Tommy Walsh, his opener, 20.99. He's in 3rd place, but Walsh, he's a 22.90 thrower, and I know he believes he can go further. The 30-year-old former world champion. Prolific competitor, Tommy Walsh. Seems to be everywhere. Have shot, will travel. That's not bad from Walsh. I think that's probably a similar sort of distance. He's frustrated though. Yeah. Seems to think there was an imperfection in his spin. Yeah, it didn't look fluid, did it? From Tommy Walsh. He opened with 20.99. That might have been a slight improvement. Well, if it's anywhere near his opener and he knows that there were errors in that, then he will be confident he can throw a lot further. Still waiting for Walsh's mark to come up. But Joe Kovacs, his 2nd round throw, opened with 21.97, the competition leader. No, that looks beyond 21 meters. Tommy Walsh's second round throw, by the way, 20.95. Fabulously consistent, 20.99 and 20.95 for the Kiwi. Joe Kovacs opened with 21.97. It was nowhere near as big as that. His second round effort looked to me to be maybe a click or two beyond 21 meters. Coached by his wife is Joe Kovacs, and said to be in world record form from what he's been doing in training. He fouls out that second round effort, in fact, Joe Kovacs. Now, Filip Mihajlović. No, he didn't like that at all. He opened with 19.97. That might be an improvement for Mihajlović. I'm going to measure it. 21.88 he threw in Munich for that bronze medal. His lifetime best was last year in early June, 21.94. So 20.49, well, he's getting in amongst them now, Mihajlović. 20.49 puts him still only in 8th place. Ponzio is 7th at 20.66, and here Ryan Krause. Now, Kovacs opened with 21.97. Krause here, his last to throw in round 2. His opened at 21.95. Needs to find a couple more centimeters to take the lead. Nope. That's around 21.50, something like that. The sky darkening on the nearby hills, and he fouls out as well. Knows it's no improvement. This meeting first attained international status back in 1962. It's called a Ivančić Memorial, Boris Ivančić Memorial, by the way, because Ivančić was a great hurdler between the wars, Croatian hurdler, and then was killed in the war, Second World War. This meeting inaugurated in his memory, in his honor. Marcus Thompson then, of Norway, is down in 9th place at the moment, 20.08 and 20.31. Can he continue that improvement? No, that's about 20. And he fouls out there as well. Just saving these officials who are doing a very solid job. Big shout out. I always feel it's important to acknowledge the officials in any sport, but in particular particularly in track and field athletics, where there are so many of them required for various disciplines, field disciplines in particular. The big throws, of course. The heavy throws, I should say, the shot. Long throws, the hammer, discus, javelin, require an awful lot of professionalism and focus from the officials. Now, Roger Steen in 6th place, 20.73 in round 2. Well, he's peppering that area. His first 2 efforts were 20 meters 71 and 20 meters 73. I mean, consistency personified. That one looks pretty similar. It might even be a slight improvement from the American. He's a 21.47 thrower. He can go much closer to that furthest white line across the sector, set at 22 meters, 20.67. So not quite as far as his previous 2 efforts, but nonetheless. I mean, 20.71, 20.73 and 20.67. 6 centimeters covering 3 throws. That's well, about 2.5 inches. Nick Ponzio then, 20.66 in round 1, his best. He's in 7th place. Now that may be an improvement. That's solid from Ponzio. 7th in Lausanne, a couple of weeks back with 20.94, and then in Rovereto in Italy, he won with 21 meters 22. In Brussels, he was 5th with 21.06. And in Padua, just 4 or 5 days ago, 20.95 gave him 4th place. 20.69, a very slight improvement for Ponzio there, but he knows full well from recent results that he can go well beyond 21 meters. There is more in the tank from Ponzio, who is in 7th place after his 3rd round. And we can confirm that Marcus Thompson, having had his 3 throws, he's first in the throwing order, will be the man who will not have 3 further throws. He's in 9th place, his best 20.31. Now, it's in Ivančić. No, slips there, I think, the Serb. And he fouls out with that one as well. His opener, 20.83, has him in 4th place. But a no throw in round 2 and a no throw in round 3. Foul throw, however you want to express it. You get my gist. Now, the first of our members of the 22-meter club, Josh Awatunde, steps into the circle. Beautiful shot, that. This illuminated area. It's darkening very quickly, isn't it? You'd think we were near the equator. Awatunde is in 5th place, 20.78 in round 1, and that is better. I'm pretty sure that's better. Yeah, he likes it. Punches the air. Gets the fist pump from 2 or 3 of his competitors. That is beyond 21 meters, surely. Awatunde beginning to hit his straps. He opened with 20.78, then 20.50, and that one, 21.13, Awatunde. Things getting serious. And the Americans dominating as ever. In 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, though not in their finishing order in the World Championships. Tonight it's Kovacs, Krauser, and Awatunde. Tommy Walsh here, well, he's been shunted down to 4th place. 20.99 is opener, that's his best. Oh, yes. Oh, there's an improvement there from Tommy Walsh. He's loving that. I'll tell you what, there's a little battle going on there between Walsh and Awatunde, because I think that will have regained 3rd place. Awatunde 21.13, remember, in round 3. Tommy Walsh had held 3rd place. Awatunde took it with that 21.13. Tommy Walsh opened with 20.99, 21.32, back into 3rd. So, Joe Kovacs, twice world champion, twice Olympic silver medalist in Rio, and of course in Tokyo last year. This fella was world champion in Doha back in 2019 with 22.91. That's where he defeated, notably defeated Krauser. And that's big as well, that's around, ooh, I don't know, take your pick, 21.60, 21.70, something like that. But he did open with 21.97, fouled out his 2nd round throw. I don't think there's an improvement there for Kovacs. Born in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Wonderfully named little part of the eastern seaboard. Kovacs then, waiting for that 3rd round mark to come up. 21.49 for Kovacs. It's a solid backup to his opener, 21.97. He still has the lead. Now listen to the crowd supporting the local man, Filip Mihajlovic. That looks better from Mihajlovic. He opened with 19.97, then 20.49, and that, well, I think it's mighty close to 21 meters. 8th in the throwing order of the 9. Just coming towards the end of round 3 now, if you've just joined us. Kovacs still leads with his opener, 21.97. Ryan Krauser with his opener was very close. A couple of throws later, 21.95. He has 2nd, and Tommy Walsh has 3rd place at the moment with 21.32. 20.73. Well, it is a substantial improvement for the local man. Now, Krauser. A little bit of Springsteen to inspire him. He's a monstrous fellow, this Ryan Krause. Born in Portland, Oregon. Through an Olympic record to retain his Olympic title last year in Tokyo. Set his world record at the Olympic trials last year in Eugene, the 18th of June, 23:37. Now, what can he do here? 21:95 in the first round. Ooh, that looked better. That might have looked better. It's right out there towards 22 meters. I'm not sure it will be an improvement. I don't think it'll catch Kovacs's 21:97, but it's big. He looked lovely and relaxed with that one. Sometimes 21:76. Sometimes when you look relaxed and it looks like it's flowing easily, that's when the really big performances come. That's true across the whole portfolio of sports. So often when performers produce some play, some performance that looks very natural and relaxed and fluid, is when they are hitting the sweet spot and producing big throws. And that one, 21:76, still big from Krause. Kovacs, remember, 21:97 with his opener, then 21:49, his second best. Krause at 21:95 his best, and then 21:76 his second best. So now we reverse the order. Ponzio will go next. He's in 8th place. Thompson, as I said, will play no further part. The Norwegian, who opened with 20:08, and then a 20:31, and then a third round no throw. So all 9 competitors well beyond 20 meters. But Ponzio in 8th place with 20:69. We'll have 3 more throws now. Like so many of these fellas, he's a prolific competitor. Won the Italian Championships in Rieti midsummer, then in Eugene, finished up in 9th place. Taking his time here, Ponzio, to get the second half of the competition underway. Very powerfully built Ponzio. Squat, low center of gravity. That helps with his rotational technique. Oh, that's better from Ponzio, no doubt about it. His series through the first half of the competition was really consistent. 20:66, 20:29, and then 20:69. But that is better, no doubt about it. 7th place, Mihailovic, 20:73. I think he's moved past him. 21:27. Moves into 4th place, does Ponzio. Wow. Did he hit one right there or what? His hobbies, wait for it, are eating, you'd never guess, music and weightlifting. The 2 of those certainly help. Maybe the rhythm of a bit of decent music helps as well. Likes his Italian food, does Nick Ponzio. Now, Mihailovic has just seen his 7th place taken away by Ponzio. I don't think that will regain it, but it probably is an improvement. 20:73 in round 3 was his best. He is down in 8th place now after Ponzio's 4th round throw to open this 4th round. 21:09, moves into 6th. Leapfrogs Sinancevic and Steen. 21:09 from Mihailovic. So we have 6 men beyond 21 meters. Steen then He's down in 8th place now with his second round throw of 20.73. Not sure there's much improvement there for the American. Well, what's he been given there? 20.72. Fabulously consistent throwing. Can you believe 20.71, 20.72 and 20.73 from Roger Steen? But he is back in 8th place now with 2 throws to come from him. Ivančić next to go. The European Championship silver medalist in Munich through a fabulous 21.39 to take that silver. His qualifying distance, mind you, in Munich, 21.82. No, that one I don't think is an improvement. He had a 20.83 opener, then a no throw in the second round and in the third round, and he fouls out there in the 4th round as well. So he stays in 7th place. Next to go is Awatunde. Josh Awatunde. He's a 58-meter discus thrower. Here's Josh Awatunde. This is best event by some margin. Now, lying in 5th place with 21.13. That came in round 3. And that is better. That's much better from Awatunde. Oh, that's big. And he loved it. I'll tell you what, I'm beginning to think you can measure the quality, the distance of the throw from the roar. If you had to close your eyes and you just listen to these roars and the intonations therein, you'd have a pretty good time of it on most throws. Awatunde, 21.13 in round 3. His 2 openers were around the 20.5 distance, 20.78 and then 20.50, then 21.13, but that is much better. He's in 5th place prior to this throw, and he moves into 3rd, 21.73 for Awatunde. That's a massive 4th round effort. Well, the gauntlet thrown down now for Tommy Walsh, who loses 3rd place again. He's back in 4th. 21.32 in round 3 for the Kiwi. That's outside the sector. Just outside the sector. That's frustrating because it was, I think, beyond 21 meters. His best remains then. His 3rd round effort, 21.32. But the USA back in 1, 2, 3. Kovacs, Krauser, Awatunde, Tommy Walsh wants at least to get in amongst them. But now he's going to have to find another 41 centimeters. Awatunde in 3rd with 21.73. Tommy Walsh, 21.32. Some way back at the moment. Ryan Krauser goes next. Now, Krauser still in 2nd. Oof, whoa. That is almost identical to his 3rd round throw. He's lying in 2nd place. 21.95 was his best. That was his opening effort. No throw in the 2nd round. 21.76 in round 3. And that one from Krauser. Surely it's better. He holds that meeting record, remember, from last year, 22.84. 21.72. Well, it's a lovely series building from Krauser. But he stays in 2nd. Kovacs now. Can he pour a bit of salt in the wound he's opened up over the last couple of weeks in his compatriot, Ryan Krauser? Kovacs looking for an improvement on his 21.97, and he might have just found it. Right on the 22-meter line. 21.97 to 21.95 over Krauser. That's his lead, a slender 2 centimeters. He had a no throw in the 2nd round after the big one, then a 21.49. 21.94, no improvement. but it's a fabulous backup. And I tell you what, it's so tight, this competition. He might well need a big second best throw. Kovacs, 21.94, stays in the lead, cannot extend his lead. Would love to have done, would love to have found another few centimetres to ease beyond 22 metres and further away from Krause and Awatunde, who are, well, effectively breathing down his neck. Now, Nick Ponzio, remember, a fabulous fourth round effort, 21.27 to elevate him from 8th to 5th. That's around 21 metres, maybe a little bit down on it. In fact, his fourth round throw elevated him temporarily to 4th, but he is back in 5th now because of big throws that have come subsequently. Awatunde, 21.73. 20.71 there for Nick Ponzio in the 5th round. Just one throw left for him. Mihailovic to go next. Now, he improved dramatically to 21.09 in his 4th round. He's lying in 6th place. Well, that's around, I don't think it's quite 21 metres. Next to go will be Roger Steen of the USA. Still waiting for Mihailovic's 5th round effort to come up. Nobody yet has punched through the 22-metre line tonight. The organisers would so love to see that. It does put into context, mind you, doesn't it? The calibre of Krause's throw last year, 22.84, the meeting record. Now, Steen next to go. That's again a very solid throw from Steen. I'll tell you what, his series is quite remarkable. 20.71 he opened with, then 20.73. That was followed by 20.67. He was in 6th place at the cut, then at 20.72. It's quite astonishing. Well, Steen, I don't think, has improved with that effort. 5th round effort, he has one attempt left. That's a beautiful scene, isn't it? The spotlight on these fellas. Steen there, 20.66, his 5th round throw. Ivančić, just beyond 21 metres, maybe 21.30, something like that. He's in 7th place. His best was his opener, actually, prior to this 5th round effort. His only valid throw, 20.83, came in round 1. He's frustrated. Is the Serb European Championship silver medalist. He got it right on the day that mattered most. You know, medals are what defines a career. Championship, major championship placings. It's great to win these circuit meetings, commercial meetings, be they Diamond League or Continental Tour gold level meetings or whatever. Wonderful to take scalps and to throw big, perform big. But medals are what people remember you for. Now, Awatunde in 3rd place, 21.73 in round 4. Can he threaten the top pair? He's getting closer and closer, because that might be a bit better. His series, 20.78, then 20.50, then 21.13, excuse me, in round 3. Then the big one, 21.73 in round 4 for Awatunde. That put him in 3rd place. He's still in 3rd. Nobody has surpassed that. And Awatunde, 21.58. Well, it looked a little better than that. It's deceptive, isn't it? Where that steel ball punctures the soil. not an exact science. There is a degree of judgment required from the officials, but they do a great job, invariably. Tommy Walsh fouled out in round 4. His best 21.32 came in round 3. He's lying in 4th. That's a solid throw from Tommy Walsh. It's beyond 21 metres, but he won't be happy with it. His best throw of the season came in Chortsov back on the 5th of June in Poland, 22.31. And Walsh, with that throw, well ensured he'd be right up there as one of the favourites at the World Championships, but he couldn't make it count at the Worlds. Finished just outside the medals in 4th place, remember. Walsh there. No improvement for him. 21.14 for Tommy Walsh there. A fabulous 5th round effort, but he stays down in 4th place. Now Krauser in 2nd place, running out of opportunities to catch Kovacs. The margin between them, 2 centimetres. 21.97. 95 Krauser, 21.97 Kovacs. What can they do? And there it is. There's the big one from Krauser. He is so reliable. And maybe, after suffering defeats at the hands of Joe Kovacs twice in the last couple of weeks, he has found the key to unlocking the Kovacs dominance. 22.19 by Ryan Krauser. Well, it's not as big as his season's best of 23.12, nowhere near, but it's bigger than anybody else here tonight. Krauser 22.19, and now Kovacs has got it all to do. That'll pump him up. Joe Kovacs, who I have heard is in world record shape. I've heard has thrown over 24 meters in training. That would be a massive world record. What can he do here? Round 5 has just lost the lead for the first time. No, didn't like that. You could hear that little roar of frustration as he released. He knew it wasn't right. The second it leaves their hand, these fellas know where they've hit it right. The timing is right, the angle of attack, the momentum, the rhythm. It's still way beyond 20 meters. But Joe Kovacs fouls out with that 5th round effort. He's got 1 chance left out of the 2 he was handed to regain the lead. Ryan Krauser, 22.19. Almost a hammer blow there at the 11th hour to take the lead for the first time. But it does take, as everybody knows in the field disciplines, apart from the vertical jumps, but you know what I mean. In the horizontal jumps and the throws, just 1 big effort. Krauser might have done it with that round 5 effort, 22.19. And there it is, as we go into the 6th and final round. 1, 2, 3 for the USA. 22.19, Ryan Krauser with that 5th round effort. Joe Kovacs, 21.97 at the other end of the series. That was his opener. And Josh Awatunde, 21.73. That was in round 4. And that is their finishing order at the World Championships. Krauser, Kovacs, Awatunde, 1, 2, 3. Gold, silver, bronze, and 1, 2, 3 tonight. So Roger Steen, back in 8th place, 20.73 in round 2, remains his best. He's had the most consistent series, but it hasn't hit the big one yet. That looks better. That looks better from Steen. That might have gone through the 21-meter line, and if it has, well, let's see. He might have moved up to, say, 6th place. Mihailovic, 21.09. 5th place, Ponzio, 21.27. I'm not sure it's as far as that, but I think from Steen, he has really pulled out the big one there at the final opportunity. 21.15, it is 5th place for the American Steen. Well, I tell you what, he's not far off his lifetime best of 21.47. It's another 30 centimeters or so. And Roger Steen would be in brand new territory for him. Boy, oh boy. Great way to complete his series. He's in 6th place. I mean, Sinancevic then 2083. He's now down in 8th place. And I think that might be an improvement from him. It's going to be very tight. To move to 7th and catch Mihajlovic, he needs 21.09. I'm not sure it's that big. He's thrown up there in 21.80s and 21.90s last year and this year. Struggling, and he gets 21.04. He stays in 8th place. Good series though, and he's finished it with real aplomb. 21.09 in round 5, in round 4, 21.04 in round 6. That's a good, solid series. Nothing to be ashamed of there as he unstraps that right arm, which looks like it might have been giving him some trouble. Listen to the noise for the reigning European champion, Mihajlovic of Croatia. He's lying now in 7th place, and that's another great effort. I don't think it's 21 meters, a little bit below 21 meters, but they are loving it. And they will have screamed to the rafters when he took that gold in Munich. So Ivančić then. Mihajlovic, I should say, no throw there in the 7th round. Well, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. He has that gold medal from Munich. 21.09 in round 4 gives enormous respectability to his series. Now, Nick Ponzio in 5th place. That big effort in round 4, 21.27. Can he go further? No. No, not this time, but for Nick Ponzio, that is nonetheless a great effort. (21.27) from Ponzio. Well, he hasn't thrown further than that too many times in his career. Indeed, he's almost up there in the top 10 throws for the Italian all-time. Now, Tommy Walsh in 4th place. Can he disrupt this US dominance? They have 1, 2, 3 here tonight already. So far, I should say. They had 1, 2, 3 at the World Championships. He's in 4th place, Tommy Walsh, 21.32. To catch Awatunde, he needs 21.73. Well, it's big, but I don't think big enough. Surely that's beyond 21 meters from Tommy Walsh. It's been another super solid series from the Kiwi. 20.99, 20.95, then 21.32. His best so far in round 3. No throw round 4, 21.14 round 5, and I think this might be a little bit further. 21.32, his 3rd round. 21.17, no. But a great series nonetheless. 4th place for Tommy Walsh. Well, now we are down to the top 3. Awatunde, 21.73, came for him in round 4. He's lying in 3rd place. Oof, well, it is so close to 22 meters. I don't think it's there. Remember, Ryan Krauser, 22.19. Joe Kovacs, that for Krauser, by the way, in round 5. Joe Kovacs opened with 21.97. He led for 4 rounds until Krauser took the lead. And this one from Awatunde, it might be an improvement on his 21.73 in round 4. Let's wait and see. 21.66. No, but what a series. Rounds 3, 4, 5, and 6, all way beyond 21 meters from Awatunde. That is a superb series. He stays in 3rd place. Now, it all comes down to this next throw. The penultimate throw of the evening from Joe Kovacs. What can he do? Lawrence Okoye there, #1 British discus thrower, took a medal at the European Championships. Amongst those viewing, he will be throwing tomorrow night at the Mladost Sports Park, the main gathering. This is Joe Kovacs, though, his final throw. He's beaten Krauser the last 2 meetings, 21.97 in round 1. Can he improve on that? Oh! Well, it's right on the 22-meter line, but I don't think it's going to catch Krauser. 22.19, remember, from Krauser in round 5. That was some battle between these two. Joe Kovacs will be mighty frustrated with that. It's a shame, really, because the season, this long, unique summer of track and field athletics, the World Championships, the Commonwealth Games, the European Championships, umpteen Diamond League meetings, umpteen Continental Tour meeting, gold, silver, bronze meetings. 21.91 for Joe Kovacs. 21.97 his best was in round 1, 21.94 in round 4, 21.91 in round 6. What a series from Kovacs, but beaten by this man and by that one monster throw in round 5, 22.19. He retains his title. The Ivančić Memorial meeting does Ryan Krauser. What can he do here? Can he improve on 22.19? No, and it matters not a jot. He's regained the high ground for now from Joe Kovacs. Where these fellas throwing so well, producing such a marvelous clash, a clash of the titans. It seems a shame the season rumbles to or shudders to a halt. But boy, have they entertained us well. Ryan Krauser, 22.19 in round 5. Clearly, the COVID that he caught after the World Championships, where he lifted his first World Outdoor title, is receding. His system is firing up to full capacity, to full strength, full power, as we've seen to good effect tonight. Comes from a family of throwers, does Ryan Krauser. Enjoys fishing, kayaking and hiking in his spare time. And I'm sure he'll be doing a bit of that over this next month or so. Many of these fellas, just like most of the track and field community, will be taking a month off now and having a break. Confirmation of the win, though, for Ryan Krauser, 22.19, that coming in round 5 to deny Joe Kovacs a third consecutive victory over the Olympic champion. Joshua Tunde in third place, making it 1-2-3 for the USA. Tommy Walsh unable this time, the former world champion from New Zealand, to get in amongst the Americans. Great throwing from Nick Ponzio, the Italian, former American, 21.27 for 5th place. And indeed, the first 8 men here tonight getting beyond 21 meters. A supremely high caliber competition. Goodness me. 21.04, 8th place for Armin Sinančević.
Lijep pozdrav, poštovani gledatelji, sa mnom je Filip Mihaljević. Filipe, možda nije bio rezultat kakav ste priželjkivali, ali vjerujem da ste uživali večeras.
Pa uživao sam, tu mi je došla supruga sa malim sinom i još puno članova moje obitelji, tako da sam uživao. Rezultat je bio ok, 21 metar, možda smo se razmazili malo sa onim velikim daljinama, međutim tijelo je umorno i to je znak da se ne može više, da treba na odmor. Ali evo, prije svega bih zahvalio organizatorima što se stvarno ponovo gledaju najbolje bacače.
He's 28 years old now, took the bronze medal back in 2016 at the World Indoor Championships in Portland, Oregon. 6 years later, he's European champion. He's persevered, he's worked at it. And Mihaljević sounds, doesn't he, like he's got the energy to keep going. I'm sure most of these fellas have. They work so hard to get it technically right. And by the time they do mid-season, they're firing on all cylinders, looking for competitions, perfecting that technique. He hit his day of days, his peak quite correctly in Munich at those European Championships. That was back on the 15th of August, what, some 3 weeks or so ago now, 3.5 weeks ago. Since then, 8th in Lausanne, 4th in Brussels, 5th in Zurich, and tonight, finishing here in 7th place in front of the home crowd, but they will not judge him on that. They will just love the fact that he carried gold home to Croatia. Finished 6th at the World Championships in Eugene, where his distance, 21.82, was only 6 centimeters less than his European Championship gold medal winning performance, 21.88.
Evo sada je sa nama I pobjednik. Good evening, congratulations on your performance tonight. How are you happy?
Really happy at this point in the season to get The victory distance was solid, and so really happy to walk away with the win. Joe has been throwing very, very well, and a lot of the guys, Josh Awatunde, fellow American, threw really well tonight as well. So honored to walk away with the victory. And my favorite part was seeing the crowd support Philip and come out and cheer for him after his European Championship victory. So that was my favorite part, was seeing the support for him.
You are always enjoying here. It's your 5th title now.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite meetings, my favorite shot put only competition in the world. So I always look forward to coming to Zagreb. The fans are amazing, the staff and facilities, everything here is fantastic. So I love any chance I can to come to Croatia.
Perfect ending of the season, so now you have some rest, and then what are your plans for the next, maybe new world record?
Yeah, so I have one meeting left in Bellinzona, and so after that, a little bit of a break, but I only take 10 days off of training and then get back to it. And so hopefully I can continue to build on the success of this year and hopefully throw a new personal best. And the fun thing about that is that it's also a world record now.
Congratulations once again, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Eto toliko, hvala vam.
Well, that interview from the Olympic and world champion, the world record holder and winner here tonight, Ryan Krauser. That says it all, doesn't he? 5 times a winner in Zagreb now. Retains his title from last year. One more competition for him in Bellinzona, Italy. And then 10 days off, that's all. I'm a little surprised to hear that. It's been such a long old season for these fellas. Goodness me, he's been throwing well for many, many months now, has Ryan Krauser. And to say just 10 days off before getting back into it shows, I suppose, the hunger there is for him to get back in the gym, start building for next year. He's 29 years old now, Ryan Krauser, and so many of the heavy throwers do improve into their 30s. He probably feels big throws, more distance, world records lie ahead of him, and he wants to get stuck into it. And of course, he's had that inordinately long recovery from COVID post the World Championships in Eugene. He won that title, remember, back on the 17th of July. Well, that seems a long, long time ago now, doesn't it? What is that, some 7 weeks or so ago? And since then, he had to wait about almost 6 weeks before competing in Lausanne, where he was beaten. He threw over 22 meters, but was beaten by Kovacs. Then he won in Lausanne with 22.08, and then was beaten in Zurich just last Wednesday, excuse me, by Kovacs again, despite throwing 22.74. That's where Kovacs threw 23.23, the second longest throw in history. But tonight, he's back on it, is Ryan Krauser. His winning distance, 22.19. Joe Kovacs may wonder where his 23-meter plus form went tonight. His best 21.97 was his opener. Well, if Ron Krauser is familiar with the glories of Croatia, Split and Hvar, and there's so many of the other glorious resorts on the Adriatic coast. Not a bad place for a little break if you're going to have 10 days break. But maybe he just fancies going home and sleeping in his own bed, because so many of these athletes have been on the circuit for months and months, living out of suitcases effectively. Many of them have a European base that they go back to as a sort of place to regather their strength, catch up on some sleep, do a bit of washing. You know, these are mortals. They perform like superhumans, but they're mortals. They have to get their washing done. They have to do all those normal, rather humdrum daytime things that we're all familiar with. But for them now, maybe what is more precious than anything is a few days at home. From all of us, at the end of this Continental Tour gold level series of meetings in 2022, it's bye-bye from Zagreb, and we'll see you next year. Bye-bye.